What's going on, vinyl community? It's your boy Ryan Webb back with another video. Now today I originally planned to do something a little different. I was going to do a little vinyl community vlog type video where I go and check out some of my local thrift stores because I haven't done that in a while. I don't think since last summer. And I thought I'd bring the camera along with me just to have a little some fun for this channel. See if you guys find anything cool with me. But unfortunately, we had some snow here a couple of days ago, and a lot of it is still here. It hasn't melted. The roads are still a little bit icy, and just to be safe, I didn't want to drive on those icy roads. And so instead today I'm going to do the video that I originally planned for later this week, and that is some vinyl finds that I've got, because I haven't done a vinyl finds video since last June when I graduated and I showed off my graduation vinyl finds. So yeah, let's do a fun little vinyl finds video. Also originally what I was going to do is I was gonna show records I got from Christmas up until now, but I got some cool stuff back in November that I just had to brag about to you guys. I hope you don't mind. But anyways, enough talking. Let's get into the vinyl. So first up, we got Are We Not Men? We Are Devo by Devo, their iconic debut album. This is one I've been wanting to find for a while on vinyl, and it just got a reissue back in October. And the cool thing about this reissue is that it's on golf ball white vinyl, and it's a really good sounding pressing. So if you're looking to get a copy of this record, now's a good time to get it since they just reissued it. And I'm not sure if it's a limited edition reissue, but just in case, grab it. Even if you haven't heard it, I still think this is a really good new wave record. I recommend it. Next up, we've got our man with the amazing voice, Frank Sinatra, with Strangers in the Night. Now, Strangers in the Night is my all-time favorite Frank Sinatra song. I absolutely love it. I especially love the doobie doobie doo part at the end, just a fun little tidbit. And I've been wanting to get this record mainly for that song, but also just, to get some Frank Sinatra in my collection, because I've only got Only the Lonely and his Christmas record. And so I want to get some more Sinatra, and I thought this would be a good one to get. And other than Strangers of the Night, which is the best song on the album in my opinion, but this has some other really good songs like Summer Wind, Call Me, Downtown. Yeah, I just really enjoy this record, and you can find a pretty nice copy of it for under $10, which is pretty cool. So yeah, this next record I also ordered from Discogs alongside that Frank Sinatra record, and it is Elvis Costello and the Attractions' third record, Armed Forces. Now, I've been listening to a lot of Elvis Costello this past year, especially these past few months. I've just got tons of respect for him. He's always trying something new with each album, making sure each album doesn't sound like the last one, and I just absolutely love that element of surprise from him. And this one, it's another great record from him. It's got Accidents Will Happen, Senior Service, the big single off here is Oliver's Army. I also really like Goon Squad, and What's So Funny About Peace, Love, and Understanding is probably my favorite Elvis Costello song of all time. Even though this isn't my favorite Elvis Costello record, I still absolutely love it. It would definitely be one of my favorites, even though I've only heard his first 6 or 7 records. But yeah, if you're looking again, Elvis Costello, this one along with his first 2 records are definitely worth checking out. This next record was also from Discogs, and it is the Pixies' Surfer Rosa. This is an album I've been hearing about for a while. It's got a lot of great reviews. Kurt Cobain even said it was like his second favorite album of all time behind Iggy Pop and the Stooges' Raw Power. So I was like, you know what, I'll check out this album, see if it's any good. And it is a great record. It was produced by Steve Albini, who did records like Nirvana's In Utero and PJ Harvey's Rid of Me. So if you know those albums, Steve is a good producer. And yeah, this album is just a great record. I love Bone Machine, Break My Body, Gigantic is my favorite song off the album. Where's My Mind is a great song. Tony's Theme, Oh My Golly. This is just a great late 80s indie rock record. And yeah, check it out if you're thinking about it. Next up, we've got The Cure with their debut record, Three Imaginary Boys. Now, I've been listening to a lot of The Cure. I got their albums Pornography, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, Kiss Me, and Japanese Whispers. And I wanted to get another Cure album back in November because it had been a while. And so I decided to get their debut because even though it's very different from what you expect from The Cure, it still is a great debut in my opinion. It's more pop punk than anything pop punk new wave. It's like, I think Robert Smith's inspirations at the time were like Elvis Costello and the Buzzcocks. So you definitely can hear that in their sound. It's very different, but it still is a really good debut. I love the songs 10:15 Saturday Night, Grinding Halt, and Fire in Cairo is probably my favorite song. Great record. If you've already heard the gothic rock stuff and the new wave type stuff from The Cure, and you're looking to check some other stuff out for them, yeah, definitely check this one out. It's a really good first album. This next record was from eBay, and it is another Elvis Costello album, Taking Liberties. This is a compilation, and I won this in an auction for 99 cents. And so with shipping, it was only like $4 or $5, and it's in fantastic shape. There's not really, I mean, there's like a little bit of ring wear up here, and the record plays through just fine. I don't believe there's any skips or scratches, pops on it really that much. And what this record is pretty much a compilation of tracks we didn't get here in the US, like I Don't Want to Go to Chelsea, Sunday's Best, Night Rally, as well as B-sides and singles we didn't get here, like Radio Sweetheart, Stranger in the House. This is a really good compilation. There definitely are some songs on here that are lesser than others, but I mean, the really good songs on here are in fact really good. So yeah, another Elvis Costello album worth checking out if you can get, especially if you can get it for 99 cents like I did. Yeah, it's definitely worth the buy. Next up is another eBay find, and I got The Chirping Crickets by Buddy Holly and the Crickets. Now, I've had an original pressing of this record from 1957 for almost 7 years, almost as long as I've been collecting, and it is beat to crap, let me tell you. Like, it's been taped up to prevent the cover from almost falling apart. The record plays through just fine. It's just really dirty, but I wanted to get a pressing of it that's in better shape, that doesn't feel like it's falling apart every time I listen to it. And so that's exactly what this is. This is from the 80s on MCA Records, and it's got the same track listing. Luckily, they didn't add any bonus tracks, because I'm not a big fan of when record labels add bonus tracks or like have deluxe editions. That's kind of a pet peeve of mine. And this one, it's classic Buddy Holly and the Crickets. It's got Oh Boy, Not Fade Away, Maybe Baby, That'll Be the Day, I'm Looking for Someone to Love. Yeah, it's just an iconic, classic 50s rock and roll record. Can't go wrong with it. Now, this next record was the only technical record I got on Christmas Day. I got it from my sister, and it is Courtney Barnett's Sometimes I Sit and Think, Sometimes I Just Sit. This album came out in 2015, and pretty much what it is, it's more of a modern indie rock record. Courtney Barnett, if you haven't heard of her, she's an Australian singer. She has a really nice voice. It kind of reminds me of the way she sings. It's kind of like Lou Reed, where it's half singing, half talking type deal, and I really like the way it's done on this record. And it's filled with good hooks. I love the songs Pedestrian at Best and Aqua Profunda. If you're looking to get into some modern indie rock from the past 2010s decade, this is definitely one to check out. It's got a lot of great reviews, and I recommend it as well. Now, these next records I bought with money that my mom gave me for Christmas. Originally, she ordered some records from one of our local record stores, but those albums were put on back order, unfortunately, and they kept telling her that they hadn't come in. And I heard the next day from another local record store that apparently a pressing plant here in the US burned down, and so a bunch of albums are on back order. I'm not sure where that pressing plant is. If you know more about that information, feel free to comment below about it. But yeah, unfortunately, I guess all the records that my mom tried to get for me were from that pressing plant that burned down, and so I wasn't able to get them. So what can you do? She gave me some money instead, and I was able to get some records I'm really happy to have, so let's just jump into those. This first record we have is Field Day, the second album by Marshall Crenshaw. I heard his first album back in October. I've got a copy of it, and I really liked it, and I was wanting to check out his second album, so I managed to find a copy of it. And I will admit, I've only heard it twice, but I was a little underwhelmed with it. I mean, it's good, and I guess I probably need to give it a few more spins, because it definitely took me a little bit of listening before I really started to appreciate the first Marshall Crenshaw record. But yeah, this one, I do like the songs Whenever You're on My Mind, Monday Morning Rock, and What Time Is It? But I mean, other than that, I was a little disappointed by it, but that's not my final impressions of it. I gotta give it a few more listens, I guess. Next up, I got The Clash's Give 'Em Enough Rope, not Give Me Enough Rope, it's Give 'Em Enough Rope. This is their second record. I believe it was released in 1979. And this is just a great punk rock record. It's definitely more straight ahead rock than it is punk rock, in my opinion, compared to their first album, but still is a really good follow-up. I mean, The Clash, you can't go wrong with them. They earned the name The Only Band That Matters for a reason. They're probably the best punk band that ever has been and ever will be. I mean, they truly are the only band that matters. They're just an amazing band that we got, unfortunately, not too many stuff from, but the stuff we got from them was absolutely classic. except for their last album, Cut the Crap, which is a crap album. But their first 5 records are really great stuff that if you haven't checked out, you really should check out The Clash. I mean, just an amazing, timeless band. This next record is The Replacements, Let It Be. The Replacements are a band I've been getting into a lot recently. If you don't know who they are, they originally started off as like a hardcore punk band in the early 80s, but then with this record, they started to shift to more half punk, half power pop in the vein of artists like Badfinger and Big Star. And I mean, this one, I've heard only their first 5 records, but this one's probably my favorite of all of them so far. I mean, it's just such a good kick-ass rock record. And it's definitely, I know, a fan favorite. It's just so good. I mean, the songs I Will Dare, Favorite Thing is probably my favorite song on the album. Tommy Gets His Tonsils Out, Androgynous, Unsatisfied, Gary's Got a Boner, which, yes, is a real song title, by the way. There it is, Gary's Got a Boner. Great track. And the final song, Answering Machine. This whole album is just so good. If you're looking to get into 80s alt-rock, indie rock type deal, this is definitely a record to check out. It's worth your time. All right, the final record I got with the money my mom gave me is another Elvis Costello record, and it is Almost Blue from 1981. Now, this album, like I mentioned earlier, Elvis is always trying to do something new, and this album is a album completely of country covers recorded in Nashville, Tennessee, and I love this album. It's so good. I mean, like I said, he's always trying something new, and you never know what to expect from him, and he does country so well. And he also has John McPhee from the Dewey Brothers playing lead and pedal steel guitar. And this is just a great country record. I love Why Don't You Love Me Like You Used to Do, Tonight the Bottle Let Me Down, Brown to Blue, A Good Year for the Roses, How Much I Lied. Even though I wouldn't recommend starting off with this record if you're getting an Elvis Costello, after you've heard his first 3 albums, definitely do yourself a favor and check this one out. Or if you're just a fan of country in general, check this record out. It's worth your time. Now, this next record I got with an Amazon gift card my aunt and uncle got me for Christmas, and it is Nirvana's In Utero. Now, when I first started collecting vinyl, Nirvana were one of my favorite bands, but for a while I got kind of tired of them and almost resented them. But I've been coming back around to them, especially this album. I mean, this is my favorite Nirvana album. It's, like I said earlier, it's produced by Steve Albini, so you know it's got a good production sound. And it's got a lot of my favorite songs by Nirvana on here. It's got Scentless Apprentice, Heart-Shaped Box, Frances Farmer, Have Her Revenge on Seattle, Tourette's, All Apologies. Yeah, just amazing grunge from the 90s. I mean, this is probably the best grunge album, even better than Nevermind, because, I mean, Nevermind, like I said in my overrated records video, I thought Nevermind sounds more like a classic rock song, or not song, album that does grunge, and this album really sounds like the 90s grunge that we think of when we think of it, like Pearl Jam and Soundgarden and all that. This is I'm sure you've already heard Nirvana. I mean, they're one of the biggest bands of all time, but if you haven't heard a full Nirvana album, definitely start with this one. It's a great starting point. This next record I got from Barnes & Noble, it seems like around this time they do like 50% off vinyl, because I remember last year I got a copy of David Bowie's Lodger there for 50% off, like $11. So I went back to check out, see what they had, and I got a copy of The Best of Big Star half off. Usually this record is about $30 there, but I got it for about $15 since it was half off. And I'm very happy to have it. And they already had it on sale for like 25% off for a long time. But yeah, 50% off. You can't go wrong with getting vinyl for, especially a double record set like this one for $15. I mean, just a great deal. And I love Big Star. I've got their first 2 records, and I really want to get their 3rd album, but it goes for a lot of money. And even the crappy 3 Men with Beards pressing goes for a lot of money. But this luckily has some of the songs from 3rd, so I have that to hold me off until I find a copy of 3rd. But yeah, if you haven't heard of Big Star, this is definitely a good starting point. This or any of their studio albums. Next up, this one's also from eBay, and I got it. It was a buy it now price, not a bid one, and it was Stevie Wonder's Songs in the Key of Life. Now, I've been wanting to get this record for a long time, but I wanted one with the 7-inch that comes with it, and usually on Discogs, the ones that come with the 7 inches tend to go for a lot more, whereas this one I got for about $12. It is a bit beat up, but it plays through, I believe, without scratches and skips. And I mean, this is a fantastic album right here. I mean, it's got so much great reviews. Rolling Stone put it as their 4th greatest album of all time, I believe, on their 500 greatest albums of all time. I mean, this is just a beautiful, beautiful album right here. If you haven't heard any Stevie Wonder albums, this is definitely one to check out. I'd say try to get one with the 7-inch EP, but at the same time though, just the two records on their own are already fantastic enough. I cannot recommend this album enough for you. Next up, we've got the Smiths with their self-titled debut. This is the original US pressing, and it has This Charming Man on it, which is a song that I absolutely love. And the original UK pressings of this album did not have This Charming Man on it, and I don't think the newer pressings have it on here either, so I'm very happy to have This Charming Man on here. And this is a really good debut. And now that I finally got this record, I got all four of the Smiths studio albums. Now the only ones I'm missing from them are Louder Than Bombs and their live album Rank. So I've almost got a complete Smiths collection now. Last but not least is a record I showed in my Vinyl Tag 2021 video the other day, and it is David Bowie's Scary Monsters and Super Creeps. I got this last Friday from Barnes & Noble. It wasn't half off or anything, but still a good price, and I'm very happy to have this in the collection. This is one of my favorite David Bowie albums I've been meaning to get for a while, and I finally got around to it because last Friday was his birthday, and also this Sunday was the 5th anniversary of his death, and so I figured this would now be a good time to get a copy of this record. And yeah, if you're looking to get into some David Bowie, this is definitely a good one to check out. So yeah, this has been my vinyl finds from late 2020, early 2021. As you can see, I am not, even though I haven't been posting a lot, I am still not slowing down anytime soon with collecting vinyl. All these records make me happy. I love collecting records. And yeah, I don't see myself giving up collecting vinyl anytime soon. But yeah, anyways, hopefully later this week I can have that thrift store video out for you guys. But until then, I will see you guys later. Peace, everyone.